You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion, delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family, your business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day. We have a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. But before we get into our intriguing content today, please join me in welcoming our featured guest and repeat offender. Wait. I got to find it. I know it's here somewhere.
Welcome back.
Arnold Horshack is in the studio. Oh, I'm sorry. Lucas Smith is in the studio. Your home sold guaranteed realty, the Smith team.
I got to be Horshack? Really?
That's all we could come up with.
Okay.
I figured Horshack would be perfect for you.
Okay.
You were probably the one causing all the trouble in school.
Well, I take the fifth. Can I plead the fifth on this show?
This is, I would say, probably not. Yeah, no fifth on that one there, Lucas. It's we'll let you take the fifth on that. We're it's a family show, so we're gonna
let's put it this way, Ron. I'm grateful there was no social media when I was young.
Aren't we all?
Yeah, man.
Let me remind you, if you ever have any home or finance related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you, and you can reach out to me directly 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are operators standing by.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan, a plan to save you money, I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference. 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And yes, of course, we are celebrating today National Groundhog Day.
It is what it is.
Yes, I think that Phil saw his shadow. I think we've got 6 more weeks of winter. Although I guess that means in California right now. I don't, Josh, you getting all the winds out there in Vegas? It's windier than heck out here, and they said we're going to be most of the February. It's going to be windy out here. Now we are in California, so we know that there's a lot of hot air, but that's a different story. We're going to go on a different subject than that one today. It is also let's see. Today is Tater Tot Day. Okay, I like tater tot. Well done with a little Lowry salt on top of it. How else? I mean, that's. Of course, that helps me beat anorexia. And have you seen this picture? I was curious when I saw this one because, you can go a lot of different directions here. Heavenly Hash Day. Today's also Heavenly Hash. So I saw the picture of Heavenly Hash. I don't know. I saw a different picture, Josh. Mine shows all kinds of chocolate.
It's the ice cream, Ron. It's the ice cream.
No, you know what it is? The key ingredient for Heavenly Hash is it has to have marshmallows, marshmallow cream, or marshmallow whip. That's the key ingredient for Heavenly Hash. So, the picture's correct. But, being that I'm going to be traveling tomorrow, Josh, I know that you probably wouldn't have known this one because it is not a very well-kept secret. But my favorite in the whole world is carrot cake. And tomorrow is National Carrot Cake Day. So I'm going to be out in Vegas tomorrow. So I'm going to see if I can find some good carrot cake out there. I'm going to share on social media today that, carrot cake is the one. If you're wondering, that's the cake of choice, carrot cake. Okay, let's move right along. Otherwise, I'll sit here and drool all broadcast.
I could talk a little bit about carrot cake.
Oh, you like carrot cake too?
Oh yeah, no, it's our family dessert. My mom has a recipe that my dad brought with him when they got married.
Okay.
It was one of his friends' recipes.
Oh.
But he liked the recipe so much, she went and got the recipe after they met.
Wow.
And so it's our family traditional dessert for birthdays. He has it for his, I have it for mine. Most of us have it. A couple dissenters who have like pineapple upside down or chocolate, but everybody else has carrot cake for their birthday.
Nice. Okay, so Josh, we'll have to make a note of that next time Lucas is booked on the show. We're gonna have to remind him in advance. Carrot cake, please.
With homemade cream cheese frosting. Of
course.
course.
Oh, of course, yes. Hey, let's take a look at what the markets are doing. The Dow Jones Industrial Average, it's up 29 points. S&P 500 up 17. How could the NASDAQ be down? But it is down 2.70. Oil down 45 cents a barrel. I haven't checked in the last hour or two, but Google. Oh, I'm sorry. I got to call them Alphabet. They changed their name too. Like, I don't know why they don't like to call themselves Google, but Alphabet. They had some blowout earnings. So let's see if we can find what they're doing. GOOGL, I think, is the symbol for them. But Google, they were up 200. Well, they're up 218. They were up over 300 earlier today. Great earnings quarter. So that's their reasoning. That's why that is moving the way it is. A lot of news going on today. So let's take a look at what some of this news is. I mean, I just look at the headlines. It's amazing. And it's not surprising. Doesn't surprise me at all. So we're looking at Jeff Zucker resigns in disgrace after bombshell relationship with colleague surfaces. So CNN, I guess he's out. Nobody on CNN will know that he's out because nobody watches CNN anymore. It's a ghost town over there. So Jeff Zucker is out. Whoopi Goldberg gets a couple-week vacation. I don't know why it's only 2 weeks, but that is it. Neil Young is in the news. Offensive AIDS comments reemerge. Does that one surprise anybody? Now, before we get into all this other news that's going on, think about this one there. Now, here's a lot going right here. So we've been sharing with you that I've read Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s book about the real Anthony Fauci and what a fake Fauci is, my opinion. But now look at this. England, Finland, and Ireland all dropping all COVID requirements right now. All COVID requirements. Hello, can you say Newsom? Do you hear that? I mean, for us peons.
Ron. I didn't understand. You said all COVID requirements?
All COVID requirements.
Wow, that makes sense. I mean,
that's why Newsom won't do it. But that's a different story. Mask mandates, Virginia Tech, University of Virginia, George Mason University. No more masks. Now, I've got my branded mask. I'll bring that. Josh, do I have to bring a mask with me to Vegas? I'll bring my Go Brandon mask. I've got that one to bring. Congresswoman Terry Sewell, Democrat from Alabama. You got to be vaxxed to talk to her in person. I don't get that one either. Just fascinates me, all these things that are going on. Let's see if I can get through any other headlines real quick here, because I know Josh is already telling me that I'm running too long. Oh, this is a surprise. Melinda Gates no longer pledges bulk of her wealth to the Gates Foundation. Fascinating right there. Let's see. Forced lockdowns did virtually nothing to stop COVID deaths, according to a recent study. Have I told you that one before? Surprise. Amazing. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, real estate with Lucas Smith. We're going to chat and see what he's been up to. The top indicator, if you want to know where mortgage rates are heading. What is a credit limit? How is it determined? And what credit cards offer the highest limits? We'll talk about all that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you missed any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio, your home and mortgage connection.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Nikki is standing by to help you out as she does most mornings. Let's take a look and see what's going on in the world. Being that I just lost my feed right here for the markets, but I'll get that back. It'll only take me about a second here to bring that right up on the screen. Dow Jones now up 68 points. NASDAQ is up 25 points right now. Oil still down 38 cents a barrel. The S&P 500 up 13.5. 10-year Treasury down 5 basis points. Mortgage-backed securities are up 16 basis points. ADP jobs report came out this morning. That's what's been driving a little bit of the market, but they've kind of ignored it a little bit. Why did they ignore the ADP jobs report? Well, ADP does their report. So they're expected to have a 200,000 gain in jobs. The report came out as a loss of 301,000. Loss of 301,000 for the month of January. But why are we overlooking that? Well, the sample week was the week including the 12th, and the peak of cases of Omicron was January 11th. And since most of the job losses came from small-sized businesses, particularly with those with 1 to 19 employees, there's a good chance many are not paying sick leave. Not paying sick leave. Okay, I get that one. So maybe that's the issue. Maybe that's why the markets are just throwing that out there. The JOLTS report, we told you yesterday, almost 11 million job openings in December, nearly a record high. But again, this could have been impacted by Omicron. MBA released their mortgage application data last week, showing that purchase application rose 4% and are now down 7% year over year when factoring in the rise of cash buyers. This is down close to a 4%, which is quite strong considering how higher home prices, inventory at record lows, interest rates up almost 7/8% since this year last time. All that is filtering in. That is the Mortgage Minute brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make that call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Nikki's standing by. So we've got Lucas Smith, and we're going to use a whole segment just saying your home sold, guaranteed realty, the Smith team. And you are listening to Ron Siegel Radio discussion. Oh, no, we're not going to go to break quite that.
Wait, that was it. That was my whole segment, right?
The name of your company. Holy cow, man.
Well, it's our promise. Our name is our promise. We guarantee the sale of your home or we'll buy it.
So we've got several. If you're watching us on RonSiegelRadio.tv or any of our social channels, you can look behind me and see all kinds of banners. That's what Lucas's business card looks like. I mean, just to get it on there, Josh creates these great banners for us all the time. And we put them out there on social media, but on Instagram doesn't have anything that big. It's just
character limit issue.
I don't know, could be. So just throw that out there. So I had this conversation, Lucas, and I know that you're well aware of what's going on in the marketplace. But I had this conversation yesterday. A family went into contract in the last few days on a new second home out in the Coachella Valley.
Okay.
And they were shocked that when they were looking at interest rates about 4 weeks ago, maybe 5 weeks ago, They were quoted a rate, and now the rates are significantly higher.
Almost a point, right?
Right.
You said 7/8 of a point.
Right. But that's on the single family home. But on the second home, FHFA came out with their new rule or their edict January 5th that second homes, they're going to throw an extra fee of 1/8 to 3 and change on second homes, depending upon the amount of the down payment. And they're going to do the similar with investment properties. Goes into effect April 1st. Now, here's the issue that people don't understand completely. Well, April 1st, Ron, it's only February, whatever, 2nd. Well, that's the date that Fannie or Freddie are buying the loan from the investor. That's not the day you close your loan. So that can take some time after that. And investors have to start building that in now. So the question I'll throw to you, do you think it's going to impact the amount of people looking for investment properties?
Well, yeah, absolutely. And the word I heard was the reason they came down with this back when, they were just throwing out these edicts.
January 5th, I think they were still hungover.
Was that they were concerned because when there was a meltdown in the market in 2008, the secondary home market started to fall first. So they wanted to make sure that these people buying the secondary homes were even more qualified.
I guess, and then also had more skin in the game.
Correct. And
Right.
more skin in the game. So there's less to lose if something happens. And that's the rumor I heard.
There's less like. Now, there's a couple of issues. I mean, no one really knows for sure, right? But the bottom line is the fact of the matter is it's going up.
Yep.
Why they do what they do? Well, do we ever want to try and figure out why the government does what the government does?
Oh no, I don't have time for that.
Now, I don't think you're. I don't
have a lifetime for that.
I don't think you're capable, Lucas. Just because
probably
that would mean. I mean, you're too logical and you understand the marketplace. And when it comes to the government, no logic and no understanding.
I know. I like things that make sense, so that would be hard for me.
So watch that if you're thinking about buying a new second home or investment property. You're gonna have to think about a larger down payment. When you have larger down payments, for the most part, then you've got a smaller likelihood of default. Now, the best loan on the market has the lowest down payment.
Really?
The absolute best loan on the entire market.
For a secondary home?
No,
or
period. Primary home.
Primary home, okay.
Primary residence. The best loan on the market was also the best performing loan in the crash.
Okay.
And has a 0 down payment requirement.
VA
loans.
VA loans, baby.
Right? And they're the best one. So if you're a veteran and for any reason somebody's not offering you a VA loan, shame on them.
Yeah, for certain.
You
earned advantage of that.
You earned that right. And any seller here's the issue. A lot of realtors don't understand the VA loan, right? So they're thinking, it's going to cost my seller more money. Wrong. The appraisals are going to be a problem. Wrong. Right?
Let me say something to that, because we've run across this. If you're a veteran and you've talked to a real estate agent and they've told you that because it's a seller's market, now is not the time to use your VA benefit to buy a home, fire that agent and hire somebody who knows how to work with veterans. We work with veterans all the time in this market, and we know how to get their loans accepted and their offers accepted with a VA loan because we're familiar with the product and we know how the process works.
I think that's the issue right there. Is a lot of people, what we don't know, we don't like.
Right.
And that's in a lot of different areas. If I don't know it, I don't like it.
Yeah.
Which is stupid. Right? The VA loan, number one, we owe a tremendous debt of gratitude to our veterans. We couldn't do what we do. I mean, do you think I could say what I said in the opening segment in Russia? I can only say it once.
Yeah, once, right? And then you're done.
Then I'm done.
No, we give a 10% give back of any commissions we earn on a sale. We give it back to the veteran to help them with their closing cost, or we'll donate it to a charity of their choice. I love giving to the Wounded Warrior Project, but again, the charity of their choice if they want to. So we give back to those who've served our country because we're so passionate about it.
And that's the beauty of the whole concept. Those that understand the program know it's number one, it's a great program.
Yeah.
There's a lot of us. I mean, our team gives back money, gives a credit at closing on every VA loan that we do.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. I mean, that's just what it should be. And we love the veterans. So that's a great product. If you're not using it, number one, why? Is it your lender that's not giving you the right information? Is it the realtor that doesn't understand it well enough to make sure that it gets approved? And it should be approved every single time.
Yep.
Right. I mean, it's the statistics on veterans. They're on average great credit scores. I'm going to actually be doing a whole segment on that in the near future. I'm going to record it in the next day or two.
Great credit scores, great employment history, consistent and persistent. They're on it with the process.
Right, and it's just it's a beautiful beautiful group of people. So we love doing that. Speaking of loving, I'm going to just throw this out there. I think we've got this set up. I'm hoping that we have this set up. Anybody know what's going on a week from Sunday? Yeah, I'm a Ram fan. I'm going to throw that out there. I am a Ram fan. So not while they were in St. Louis, I kind of gave up on them then. And when Georgia was, well, I'm not going to say anything about Georgia.
You're a back on the wagon Ram fan. You've
I grew
back
up
on since they moved home.
Well, there are reasons, definitely reasons why I jumped off the Ram wagon, but I can't say I'm live on radio because it'll really get me in trouble. More so than most of the things.
Did that have to do with them sucking for years and years and years? Was that part of it?
No, it had to do with something about not being able to, an Olympic swimmer not being able to swim. But I'm not going to go there. I'm not, Lucas. You're gonna get me in trouble here.
Oh, well, that's what you invited me for. It said on the invite, "Come get me in trouble."
Okay, okay. You and Josh must be conspiring there. So here it is. We've got a giveaway. We like to give away stuff. So we're going to give away a gift card to a very nice restaurant for whoever picks the correct score. First one to pick the correct score. So what you need to do is text big game, no spaces, just big game to 844-970-1990. 844-970-1990. Text that in. I think I've got it on our banners. I found that one. So text big game to 8. Well, I put the wrong number in. 844. Josh, can you correct that for me? 844-970-1990. 844-970-1990. Text that big game. Got to put in the who's going to win and what you think the score is going to be. First one to get the correct score is going to get the gift card. So again, it's going to be 844-970-1990. We'll get the right number put up there. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, the top indicator, if you want to know where mortgage rates are heading, what is the credit limit? What is a credit limit? How is it determined? And what credit cards offer the highest limits? And being that Lucas's company name is so long, we might even dump that so he and I can actually say something today. No, you think, I'm the host, so I get to harass you more than you get to harass me.
No. I got it. I'm okay. I'm not thin-skinned, buddy.
I know that. I'm waiting for you to give it back to me. And I know it'll be coming. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by, the Real-Time Real Estate segment. We already did the Mortgage Minute. Thank you, Josh. The Real-Time Real Estate segment today being brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Visit rsrhomedigest.com, rsrhomedigest.com. Find out exactly what the county recorder knows about your property and what the market believes about your property. The top indicator, if you want to know where mortgage rates are heading, mortgage rates have increased significantly since the beginning of the year. Each Thursday, Freddie Mac releases its primary mortgage market survey. According to the latest survey, the average 30-year fixed-rate mortgage has risen from 3.22% at the start of the year to 3.55% as of last week. This is important to note because any change in mortgage rates changes what a purchaser can afford. To give you an idea how rising mortgage rates impact your purchasing power, if you're watching us on RonSiegelRadio.tv, any of our social channels, or the ABC News and Talk AM 1490 video feed, buyers' purchasing power. We got a chart that'll show you that what happens to purchasing power as interest rates go up. Guess what happens?
It goes down.
There you go. Thank you, Vanna. How can you know where mortgage rates are headed? While it's always difficult to know exactly where mortgage rates will go, a great indicator where they may head is by looking at the 50-year history of the 10-year Treasury yield and then following its path. Understanding the mechanics of the Treasury yield isn't as important as knowing that there's a correlation between how it moves and how mortgage rates follow. And I've got a graph that shows over the last 50 years, the relationship between the mortgage rate and the 10-year Treasury. You can see that chart, again, if you're watching us. It's almost lockstep. They almost follow right with each other. Average spread, 1.7%. So look at the 10-year Treasury, add 1.7 to that. You'll pretty much get the mortgage rates. Don't forget, you've got to pay a little bit to get that rate. So last week, you're paying 0.7 of a point to get that 3.55 on the Freddie Mac rate. Correlation has continued into the new year. The Treasury yield has started to climb up, and that's driven rates up. As of last Thursday, the Treasury yield was 1.81%. That's 1.74 below the mortgage rate reported the same day at 3.55, and is very close to the average spread we see between the two numbers. Where will the Treasury yield head in the future? With this information in mind, a 10-year Treasury yield forecast would be a good indicator of where mortgage rates may be headed. The Wall Street Journal just surveyed a panel of over 75 academic, business, and financial economists, asking them to forecast a Treasury yield over the next few years. The consensus was that experts project the Treasury yield will climb to 2.84% by the end of 2024, based on the 50-year history of following this yield. That would likely put mortgage rates at about 4.5% in 3 years. While the correlation between the 30-year fixed-rate mortgage and the 10-year Treasury yield is clear in the data shown, for the last 50 years at least, it shouldn't be used as an exact indicator. They're both hard to forecast, especially in this unprecedented economic time driven by a global pandemic. Yet understanding the relationship can help you get an idea of where rates may be going. Bottom line, forecasting mortgage rates is very difficult, as Mark Fleming, chief economist at First American, once said, quote, "You know, the fallacy of economic forecasting is don't ever try it and forecast interest rates or more specifically, if you're a real estate economist, mortgage rates, because you will always invariably be wrong," unquote. However, if you're either a first-time home buyer or a current homeowner thinking of moving into a home that better fits your changing needs, understanding what's happening in the 10-year Treasury yield and mortgage rates can help you make informed decisions. Think about this part of it. And we're going to get back and chat about this part with our friend Lucas Smith here. I just saw this morning forecasting of home price appreciation, 7.9% for this year, 7.9%. Now, it may be higher in Southern California. That's a national forecast.
Can we call that 8 for easy math?
We could call that 8.
Okay.
So 8%, if you've got a $500,000 property, and it appreciates 8%. Am I right that that's about $40,000?
About $40,000. Yep.
Think about that. Now, if interest rates go up, is your payment going to go up?
Nope.
If interest rates go down, can we get a lower interest rate?
Yes.
Do we have to say any more? So if you're a first-time home buyer, the idea is call Lucas right now.
Well, yeah, absolutely. And, I was thinking about this when I was getting ready for the show this morning, Ron. And what a lot of people who don't own yet really don't understand about home ownership is the the inner security and contentment that it brings, the security that you know that you have, right? Because your payment's going to be stable, because you know how much your housing's going to be to take care of your family every month. And that builds. It's a little hard the first year, and the second year it gets easier. And by the third or fourth year of that new home ownership, you're rocking and you're building a lot of equity.
You went past something there that I want you to go back to.
Okay.
It's a little hard the first year. Most people seem to, tend to stretch that first year.
Yeah. And I see
That's
it.
normal.
I see it. Yeah, it's normal with buyers. I see it all the time. It's a little tight that first year because you've spent a lot of money to buy the house.
And
right?
then everybody that moves into a house, I would say most everybody.
You got to spend some money on the house.
Right. It's because it's not perfect.
Not perfect.
Don't wait to buy a great home for a perfect home.
Right. Yeah. No, buy the great home, because the perfect home doesn't exist.
Right. So you're going to end up spending a little bit of money. So it's gonna be tight that first year.
It is.
Plan for it.
Expect
it.
Right. I think that's an important thing that we haven't talked about that you get to know, right? But after that, it gets easier.
Exactly. For your whole life.
Yeah. Right.
Because the next home, you're going to either do my opinion, you're going to do a cash out refinance, take money out of your existing home to buy the new home.
Correct.
And keep the first one and rent it out because rents are going up dramatically.
Yep.
And then you're building wealth for your family.
Right. Because you own multiple properties.
And you don't have to put all that cash out into the new property. Right. So if you've got a $500,000 house and it goes up to $700,000, and you take out 20% or 20% out of there. Say you take $150,000 out because you put money down in the first house.
Right.
So you say you put $50,000 down on that first house that you paid $500,000 for. So you put 50 down, you have a loan of $450, and you've been paying on it for a year or two or three.
Right.
So now you're going to obviously have more equity there because the property is going to have appreciated. Let's say hypothetically it goes up to $750,000.
Right.
It's not outrageous over a few years right now.
Right. Your interest is front loaded for those first couple of years. So that 450, you're going to maybe be at
440, something like that.
440, something like that.
You're not going to have a whole lot there, but
not a whole lot, but your equity went up because your price increased.
But you've got $310,000 in equity, hypothetically. Right. So we can take $150,000 out of that without a whole lot of problem. You can take and use that $150,000 now and put $100,000 into a new home. And that leaves $50,000 to do the repairs that mom wants.
Right.
So it's not going to be so the second home, you don't have the same stretching issue.
Right.
That Lucas brought up in the earlier in the segment.
It's with the first one. It's with that new adjustment period with paying for a house.
That first time home buyer, because and by the time you get to the second one, you're actually it's going to be easier because you're going to have more experience. That first time, I've got to have the 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom, white picket fence. Second home, you're going into it and you're saying, something, I really didn't need the white picket fence because I took it down when I moved in anyway.
You're a little bit more OG. Original gangsta. No.
Okay, I guess.
Wise and knowledgeable, and you're experienced in the ways of the world and home ownership. Does that?
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so I'm a
more
simple
OG,
guy.
right?
I'm a simple guy. OG. I was thinking about. Is he talking about food? Is he talking about beverage? Is he talking? Where are we going with this? It's Lucas Smith with us here, so we could be going in any direction we're thinking about.
You never heard that expression before?
Now that you mention it, I have, but I'm slow. I'm a simple old guy.
Okay.
And I've only had about 16 cups of coffee this morning.
That second home, you're more skilled.
You're more experienced. Yeah. You understand what's going on in the marketplace. You're ready for what happens. It's all a lot easier for you, and that makes sense.
Yeah.
So the bottom line there is once you're ready for it, you're in good shape. You can deal with these things, and I think it gets easier over time, and you're also your experience. What we don't know, like we said in the last segment, what you don't know, we don't like.
Right.
And we know we want to buy that house. We know we should buy that house, but it's a big it's a big decision.
We know we wish it was cheaper. We know you wish it was cheaper, and we wish it was cheaper.
Sure. So the bottom line is you've got to have You know something? No, they don't say these things when you go on that super secret website, google.com, and you're trying to buy a house on google.com or any of the headset agents. I shouldn't say headset agents because I do wear a headset every morning. But the bottom line here is that that's the reason why I suggest to you, you always want to be dealing with a professional real estate expert, right? Because so I'm guessing that you've helped at least 3 people in the last 24, 36, 48 years.
Yeah, this week.
Right? So you're dealing with a lot of people.
We're pretty blessed, but I'll tell you, a big part of our process, Ron, is we have a sit down. We insist on having a face-to-face interview with our buyers.
A process.
Yeah, process, a system, a step-by-step system to help figure out what's really important to our buyers about their new home, and to set some of these expectations, to have these real conversations, right? So it's not a big surprise, right? So they know what to expect.
That's interesting. That's an interesting concept right there. If you have the conversation up front and then something happens, wow, it's not really a surprise, because now the consumer, the family that you're helping, oh yeah, Lucas told me this might happen, right? We might have to deal with it. The termite report might not come back clean, or
yeah, you told us the home inspector's job was to find some stuff wrong, and here's the inspection report, and here's some stuff wrong.
And is it meaningful or is it not meaningful? Do we want to argue over it, or do we want to just say, you know, somebody, we knew that there was going to be A, B, and C, or there's going to be something. They have to justify their job. Obviously, I tell everybody, call our friend John and Melissa Hammond. They do a great job of inspections, but they're not there to tell you that everything's catastrophic, because everything is not catastrophic.
Right. I mean, you guys have a similar process. I know
Absolutely.
you interview with your clients and help them pick the best products and what's available for them and for their needs, so that you're giving them intelligent direction on the best decisions to make for them.
Got to do it. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. Don't forget, text Big Game to 844-970-1990. Big Game to 844-970-1990. Give us your big game predictions, and the one that get the first one to get it right gets a real nice gift card to a real nice restaurant locally here. So text Big Game to 844-970-1990. When we come back, we're going to continue our conversation with Lucas Smith, and I'll give you the Your Credit Matters segment another day. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel, the numero 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio, or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. I'm just going to give you the information. I'm going to give you the quick data. Your Credit Matters segment brought to you by creditsanitizer.com. You have a credit report, it is wrong. Credit Sanitizer, they've got the solutions for you. Again, Your Credit Matters brought to you by creditsanitizer.com. We're going to continue our conversation. Lucas Smith is in the house. Your home sold, guaranteed realty. And obviously it's a Smith team because it's Lucas Smith.
Well, okay.
Actually, it's Lucas is there sometimes. We like to talk to his better half most of the time.
Yeah. She's really the brains of the operation. She's smarter, prettier, and knows more about real estate than me.
Then why are you here?
Because I'm the only one you can get to show up.
So what you're trying to say is a reflection of me.
Yeah, it really is. It
Okay,
really is.
okay, I get it. Okay, so we got to talking last segment about the challenges of being that first time buyer, but we got away from a couple of issues. I want to dig into a couple of issues. I want to talk to Lucas, number one, about process, and then I'm going to throw something at him that he and I have never ever spoken about before. And I want to get his opinion on it. So we're going to talk about process, and then we're going to talk about a buyer's agreement. Is there such a thing? What are the duties that you have to ask of a buyer? What are the duties you ask of the realtor, the professional realtor? So first off, Lucas, tell me a little bit about process. There are some people that I saw a house out there on 123 Main Street. I called Lucas Smith at Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. And I said, Lucas, I want to go see 123 Main Street.
Uh-huh.
Can you meet me there at 10:15? We get off here at 10 o'clock.
Perfect. Of course, Ron. Absolutely.
Okay.
So my process always starts with this first call. So anytime somebody calls and wants to see a house, I do what's called an ALM script, appointment, location, motivation.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and set them an appointment. They want to see the house, right? I'm going to find out if there's any other houses they want to see, and I'm going to find out why they want to move.
Okay.
Right. Then when I confirm the appointment, I'm going to call them back.
You said ALM.
ALM. Yep. It's a Zillow script. ALM stands for appointment, location, motivation.
We don't talk about that Z word on this show, please.
I know. It's a good script, though. It's a really quality script. It's short, it's concise, and it gives the customer what they want.
Okay. A was what?
Appointment.
Okay.
Location, motivation.
I'm slow. Okay.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I talk fast. Once we confirm the appointment, we're going to call back and we're going to establish a little bit of timing and motivation. Again, why and when do you want to move and what's important to you about it? And we're going to offer them our access to off-market properties and other things that we do for our VIP buyers. There's things that we offer for our VIP buyers that we don't just offer the rest of the market.
Okay.
If they say they're interested in that, we're going to sit down and we're going to have a face-to-face one-on-one appointment. And we're going to go through the step-by-step process of buying a home. We're going to talk about the lending aspect of it and why that's important to them. Who they work with matters and why that's important to them, right? Really help them understand what that home buying process is going to look at before we seriously start looking at homes. Because once we set the expectation for the process, they know and we know what to expect of each other.
That makes sense.
So you mentioned agreement.
Yep.
So
I saw. Let me throw this at you because, well, first off, I mean, when you understand this process, I think it's going to probably make that whole journey much more pleasant because it's fearful. It's a large investment.
And it's emotional. And you're right. A lot of people are afraid. And when you have certain expectations and you know what to expect next and you've talked about it beforehand, it alleviates some of those fears and offsets some of those surprises. And people generally react to surprise with fear or anger. Anger is usually a fear reaction.
And sometimes that's paralyzing.
It is. Or it leads to a breakdown in the relationship and a breakdown in them being able to get what they want, which is to get a home.
Absolutely. Okay, so I saw on social media yesterday an agent discussing the idea, and we actually spoke with one of the people from the local real estate board about a month ago, and the conversation came up that there probably won't be any in the next 3 to 5 years. Every purchase will include a buyer-broker agreement.
Okay.
What is that? And does everybody have it? Does everybody have to have it? Tell me a little bit about that. Educate us.
Okay. So a buyer-broker agreement is simply that. It's an agreement between a buyer and a buyer's agent to represent them on properties on a property that they're going to purchase.
Okay.
In California, the law says that you must have an agency agreement with any buyer or seller that you work with. And that agency agreement says that your duties are honesty, fair dealing, and to negotiate on that party's behalf and in that party's best interest at all times. This is a requirement in California. So agency agreements are not off base. Our buyer's agreement that goes along with this agency agreement lays out our 15 points of service, what we've promised to give them, as well as any give backs. Like I said, we give 10% back to veterans. That's listed in our agreement. It's in writing. We have a cancellation guarantee that says if you don't want to work with us, you can cancel at any time. All we ask is you tell us why, right? So we build these into the agreement. So it's not just about locking them into working with us. It's us promising in writing exactly what we told them during our conversation.
Is that limited to one property, or is it based on a time?
It's generally a 6-month agreement. We find that buying a home for most people is generally a 90 to 180 day process, depending on the market and where you're at, where you're looking, how well qualified you are. A lot of factors. 3 to 6 months is generally what it takes most folks.
Now think about that part of it also, because who's out there telling you that, right? A lot of people are out there saying, you know something, I want to go buy a house, and it's kind of like going over to Walmart or Nordstrom or Saks, and I get what I want, and I look at it, I look for it. It might take me a day or two to figure out, or a week or two to figure out what I want, and I go home and I'm done.
Right, but it's not.
It's not.
It's not. It's your largest financial investment, and you're literally putting hundreds of thousands of dollars into it. I think you deserve an hour with a professional to answer your questions and put a plan together ahead of time in order to make that process easier for you. That's what we believe.
But think about this concept, though, as if you're out there, if you're out there sharing with people, okay, this is a 3 to 6 month process. Nobody's going to get upset if it happens quicker.
No.
But at least when we've set that expectation, if it doesn't happen overnight, you kind of told them ahead of time.
Right.
They knew that it's not going to happen overnight.
Right. We're going to start working on it right away, and we're all going to work diligently on it. I'm going to introduce you to a great lender, get you qualified, right? We're going to make you a great buyer.
Right. Exactly.
Because you're going to be fully underwritten. Same as cash when we go out there.
And that takes a little bit of time. That doesn't happen in the next 30 seconds because lenders are not going to give you, a loan based on saying, I see that There's here.
Laws and silly stuff like that you have to adhere to, Ron.
Isn't it amazing? You have to follow the rules. Right? That's a whole basic issue. So you want to make sure that you're setting the proper expectations, then gets you into a good solution.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
And it's a whole lot. Right now, one of the biggest things I see with a lot of the folks that we talk to and we consult with, there's a lot of people out there that are getting challenges, right? And they're getting frustrated because they can't find the house they want.
Well, no, it's not that they can't find the house they want.
They can't win that bid.
They can't win that bid.
But if it's
realize a multiple offer situation.
Are you telling people that right now?
Sure. No, Ron, everything we do is absolute full disclosure. We're going to talk about the market. We're going to talk about how it is. And we're going to talk about some strategies that we have in order to help them get the advantage in this market.
That's the benefit of working with a professional realtor. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio. And if you want to meet Lucas, just give me a call at 800-306-1990. Again, don't forget, get in on the contest. You're texting Big Game to 844-970-1990, 844-970-1990. You're texting Big Game. Tell us who's going to win, what the score is going to be. And if you're the first one to give us the right answer, you're going to get a gift card to a really nice restaurant. At least it's one of my favorites. So we're going to put that on there. And as always, we ask you, set that first radio preset button to come back here and join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to Josh and Sean who are engineering us today. And, of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all on Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or Ron Siegel Radio. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.
I'd like to call him something. I think I'll just call it a day.